Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a mega storm that will most likely go down in history. We're talking about Hurricane Melissa. This is not just another tropical cyclone. This was a disaster on a scale that we have probably never seen in our lifetime. Melissa has already caused tragedy, claiming lives in the Caribbean Sea. Its path is a true marathon of destruction.
Officials say at least 36 people have been killed across the Caribbean. These before and after satellite images, we're showing you them on your screen.
We will take a detailed look at its catastrophic landfall in Jamaica, as well as its subsequent complex trajectory. But most importantly, I want to conduct an analysis that few people are talking about. I want to discuss what the potential consequences would have been if this Category 5 monster had struck the US coastline. Stay with me because the information you're about to hear is critical for understanding the power of nature. Let's begin. I'll start with the most terrifying news that quickly spread around the world. Melissa reached peak intensity south of Jamaica, becoming an organized and extremely powerful Category 5 storm. It's a visually perfect storm, but this perfection is deadly. It made landfall in Jamaica as a Category 5 storm, something that has never happened before in recorded history. We're talking about sustained winds of up to 165 miles per hour and gusts approaching 200 miles per hour. There was also a catastrophic storm surge of 10 to 15 feet, which turned the coastal areas around Kingston into a flood zone. There were also some record-breaking rains in this area. But what causes the greatest concern is the amount of rainfall that fell, which was between 20 and 40 inches, in central and eastern Jamaica, and in some places even more than 40 inches. Such an amount of water causes devastating landslides and large-scale floods that will last for weeks. Unfortunately, the hurricane's path did not end after Jamaica. It was a rare multinational threat. It passed over Cuba as a strong Category 3. Then, it likely struck the Bahamas as a Category 2. And even after that, it retained enough strength to pass just 100 miles west of Bermuda as a Category 1 or 2, causing storm surge and strong winds there. Unfortunately, at this point, 54 casualties have already been reported in the Caribbean. And sadly, that number is likely to rise as data comes in from the hardest hit regions. So we will be waiting for this information, and I will definitely share it on this channel, so stay tuned. So, how did such a powerful hurricane avoid the US coastline? This was not a coincidence, but the result of the interaction of atmospheric systems. The reason lies in a powerful low-pressure system and a cold front that are currently affecting the East Coast. The very same front that brought us bad weather on Halloween. This system actually acted as a shield, pushing Melissa eastward. If this front had passed a day or two earlier, or if it had been weaker, Melissa could definitely have been steered directly toward the Gulf of Mexico or up the East Coast. We can only express our gratitude to this truly unpleasant system for playing the role of our protector, sending the hurricane into so-called no man's land. And now let's move on to the most important part. Let's analyze in detail what would have happened if Melissa had not been diverted and had struck the US coast as a Category 5 hurricane as it did in Jamaica. This is called risk analysis, and it helps us appreciate our luck. First, there would have been coastal destruction in Florida and North and South Carolina. If Melissa had struck densely populated coastal areas like South Florida, we would have seen total destruction of buildings. Category 5 means winds of more than 157 miles per hour, which results in the complete destruction of most wooden frame houses and serious structural damage even to the strongest buildings. There also would have been a massive storm surge, with surges of 15 to 20 plus feet. Low-lying areas like Key West, Miami Beach, or the low-lying islands of the Carolinas would have been wiped off the map forever. This is incompatible with life in the coastal zone. This hurricane could also have triggered an economic collapse. We would be talking about trillions in damages and a recovery process that would last for decades. The impact on the mid-Atlantic states and precipitation. Even after weakening over land, the main threat would still be water. The same 30 to 40 inches of rain that fell on Jamaica if they were to fall on the Appalachian mountain ranges, would cause historic, deadly floods and landslides in states like Virginia, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. We can also state that there could have been an infrastructure paralysis. These rains would have destroyed roads, bridges, and completely paralyzed transportation and energy networks in the densely populated region of America. Unfortunately, in such a hypothetical scenario, there would inevitably be human casualties. The number of casualties in the US would have been simply unprecedented and could not be compared to any other hurricanes that came before. So we didn't just avoid a storm, we avoided a potential national catastrophe. This is a compelling reason to treat every hurricane with the utmost seriousness and responsibility. This is very important, and it can affect not only your life, but also the lives of your loved ones. And now let's return to reality and to the weather conditions that created our protective front, our shield. Although it diverted Melissa, it brings its own troubles. For example, on the East Coast, this could mean thunderstorms, or it could even be winter. Today, in the Washington, Baltimore, and Philadelphia areas, we had a marginal risk of severe weather, a small but real chance of strong storms and even isolated tornadoes. The probability of such a scenario is about 2% in the area from Delmarva to Philadelphia. Because of the fallen autumn leaves in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New England, even 1 to 3 inches of rain can cause significant urban flooding since the drains are blocked. The cold front is also bringing a sharp drop in temperatures. In New England, despite the rain ending, it will be very windy. Gusts of 25 to 50 miles per hour and very cold. This is a terrible forecast for those planning to go trick-or-treating on Halloween. Some Americans may also experience a sudden shift into winter. We are seeing frost warnings and others from Montana to Ohio. Even in the south, in Dallas and on the Florida Peninsula, temperatures will drop into the low 40s or even 30s. We can also talk about the end of gardening. For many farmers and gardeners, the season has ended due to frost. Meanwhile, on the West Pacific coast, get ready for an active period. After today's pleasant weather, the impact of an atmospheric river will begin. This is a river of moisture that brings heavy rain at high elevations and snow to the Cascade Mountains. The next storm, expected in the middle of next week, is forecast to be even stronger. To sum up what I've just said, Melissa, this is a powerful lesson about the force of nature, which should never be underestimated. We were lucky that it moved away, but we cannot forget about its catastrophic impact on the Caribbean. As for our weather, after this cold spell, a rare warm period is expected. In about 5 or 6 days, a significant warm-up is expected across the entire lower 48 states. That is, the 48 states in the lower part of our country will be in a warm zone. This will be a rare period when we won't have a split in the weather patterns. It will be warm and sunny almost everywhere, but the models are already hinting at an interesting turn of events by mid-November, with possible clippers and cold fronts. Thank you for watching. Stay alert and remember the residents of the Caribbean Basin. If you find this analysis useful and detailed, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel.